welcome back. Today we're taking another alternate route home from work, just to mix things up a bit. Try to keep myself sane because yeah, I don't know will I last too long, to be honest. What a lovely road. And this one is going to be kind of interactive. Everyone, this is an open challenge invite. So, you know, the likes of Webb, Monkey Butt, Hachewie, literally all of you. I'm not going to name everyone. You all know who you are. Lucky Luke Rides, Moto Dragon, Auto Grant 2, everyone. Literally everyone being here now with Percy, D-Cycle, Kidmoto. Every single one of you that I'm calling out, and I'm bad at remembering names, but still, I'm remembering. What I want you to do is make a response to this to see what era you would have liked to have been born. And you can mix them. You can mix them up. It doesn't have to be like, for me, I don't know when I would have wanted to have been born per se, but I would have been like to be coming of age slightly, say, like late 60s, early 70s, like legal age for doing, you know, like bike stuff, because that's the era when the CB750, the first kind of recognized superbike, came about, you know. And that's, I don't know, just the Laverdas is all I think how you pronounce them. They were all there. They're absolutely awesome. All those 750s that came along at that time, absolutely beautiful machines. And then obviously into the 80s, I would have had more opportunities to possibly have money. Oh God, this is bumpy. To possibly have money to, you know, obviously buy, oh God, the Magna when it first came out, the likes of the VMAX when it first came out. I just think that would have been awesome, you know. Just, you were back in the time when bikes were becoming what they are now, you know, like the modern type of bike. I'm not saying obviously modern bikes have moved on a lot, but you're talking they've moved on a lot. Someone forgot their turnip on the road, I think. You're talking like, you know, they moved on in so much as electronics, but back then they moved on in design. They moved on in, you know, engine capacity, engine configuration. For God's sake, that's the era, the 70s, 80s, when the CBX was born. Absolutely ridiculous machine, and that's why I love it so much, because it's ridiculous. I don't think we'll ever see, you know, that type of insanity ever again. Like even the likes of the new Rocket 3, yeah, it's a crazy bike. It's an absolutely mental machine. But you know, it's a lot less crazy, even with the extra power and all that, than the older Rocket 3, because it's a lot safer. And I'm not saying that, you know, I'm not pulling a Kevin Magnussen, and if you don't watch F1, look it up. You know, I'm not pulling a Kevin Magnussen and saying, you know, I wish things were more dangerous. Obviously, that's not what I'm really going for, you know. This road is bumpier than I thought it'd be. Oh, that's pretty. That is pretty. But you know, the whole kind of, I think the reason I love riding the Magna so much, and it will hopefully make a return to the channel very, very soon once this is all over. I was nearly there with what I wanted to do. I had lots of things ordered before everything got shut down, so I'm still waiting on one or two small things at this stage, and then I just need to put it all together and we're good to go. So if you're wondering about that, but the reason I like riding that bike so much is it's pure, it's so mechanical. You know, you're riding that thing along and it's clacking, and when you throttle off it farts and belches, and no two noises are the same, and you don't even know should it be making those noises. But by God, you're having fun, and that's the main thing. You know, you're just hammering along the road, and this thing is making every type of noise under the sun, and you're enjoying every single one of them. Even if some of them are literally braking noises, you're probably still enjoying them because they sound bloody fantastic. But yeah, the reason for this challenge is, you know, just to kind of, I don't know, get you into a different mindset. But yeah, for me, and I know I got very carried away with thinking about those bikes, but for me, it's that region of time is because I think, you know, you would have been alive throughout all the developments that have happened throughout the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and so on for bikes and just kind of motorsport and motors in general. And there's plenty of developments that have been made, you know, and most of them bloody awesome. And I'm not saying I don't like, you know, like modern. Oh, this is such a nice road. I don't really know it though, so we can't go ham. But yeah, so you would have got to see all those developments. You would have been alive to buy, you know, some of my favourite motorbikes brand new: the Magna, the VMAX, CBX, CB750, you know, the original kind of Ducati Supersport, the Supersport. Yeah, it is. It's the Ducati Supersport. That was birthed back then, and the Laverda, the 750 GT, I think it is, the GT 750. I'll put pictures up, but they were just stunning machines. And it's when people kind of, now obviously a lot of things, you know, advancements are made through aerodynamics and advancements are made through electronics, and you know, making your valves out of titanium, etc. Just kind of really super duper fine tuning what was developed back then. But back then it was all about the mechanics, you know. It was like, okay, how do we make this go faster? You add power and you put an unbelievable rider on top of it. Yeah, the things handled well, but there was not the same level of polish as there is now at all. And again, I'm not saying that I don't like modern safety features. There's a reason I ride this bike, this Yamaha, to work all the time. It's because of its braking system. It's absolutely fantastic. And it doesn't have ABS or anything. It just has really good effective brakes. And that's why I ride it so often. Just because it is, you know, it's something that you're comfortable riding pretty much all the time. Just because it is what it is. It's a great modern bike. And back then you didn't have all those things. Like some of those bikes, the Magna for instance, even now, and I still have it on it, you know, it was a single disc on the front, but that thing was capable and is capable of doing 180 kilometers an hour. You know what I mean? Little doggy. We won't deafen the doggy, I'm sorry. I know you probably wanted to hear that tunnel, but there's a doggo involved. I can't do it. With all that being said, anyway, I've kind of gotten very carried away with how much I loved bikes back then and now. But yeah, I think it's more, I don't want to say mechanical sympathy, but I think that's what I mean when, you know, I say that when you ride something that was created and designed back then, you just feel everything going on a lot more. And I don't know, is that because you're so much closer to the engine and the mechanics and the booms and the bangs and the burps and the farts? I don't know, is that why? All I know is I absolutely adore it. For me, a big thing about bikes is I kind of like, you know, a bike that does one thing well. You know, like this bike, I like to call it the donkey because it's an absolute utility bike. This thing is good at everything, you know. I've had this, I've brought it camping, I've brought it on long road trips. It does short trips to town really well. It's pretty fast, it handles pretty well, it brakes pretty well, and it does everything pretty well. That's why I use it on a daily basis. It's great, but I don't think I'll ever love it like I love the Magna. You know, I've said it in the Magna's review that I did for it. It's not particularly comfortable. It's not fuel efficient at all. Is it reliable? The evidence speaks for itself, you know. And well, that's more age-related things. It is a reliable bike, to be fair to it. It's a Honda, but you know, yeah. I'll never love a bike like this. Whereas the likes of the SV1000, I think that's a bike you could easily love. Again, just because of the noise aspect of it. It's a big banging V-twin, and there's not much better than that. But you know, I think a bike that's made to do one thing better than anything else, I think that's a bike you can love, you know, because you can accept its foibles and all that. And I still strayed so far from my original question. But that's what these random commute talks are about. Have a bit of fun. Hopefully you'll have a bit of fun too. I know they cheer me up. It gives me someone to talk to about bikes because you'll answer me, and that's the thing as well. I do consider this talking to you all who are watching this video, because you know, you do reply in the comments, and anyone who's watched me for a while knows I do reply to all comments. I think there's only like 1 or 2 I've never replied to, and that's because there was literally no value in replying to them. They weren't really, I don't know how to describe them, but anyway, if you find those comments that I've never replied to, the 2 I've never replied to, you'll understand. The things I don't like about back then, and you know, obviously how certain people were treated, different types of people, different genders, all that stuff. Obviously that is no bueno at all. I'm a leave everyone do what they like kind of person. You know, whatever you want to believe in, whatever you want to do, provided it doesn't hurt anyone, have at it. You know, I don't believe in enforcing my views on other people unless it's about bikes, in which case you have to like them, otherwise you're probably dead inside. That's just my opinion. You know, that's just my opinion. You know, with that era of all those bikes and stuff, yeah, I would like to leave out certain bits. So I don't know, if I could blend everything that happened in the 70s and 80s and whatever else around bikes and cars, and I could pull them up into like the early 2000s. I think that's when I had my best life, because I was young, I was a child, wasn't paying bills or whatever else. If I could blend them, that'd be awesome. Because obviously the last few years have been kind of crappy. And obviously remove the recession and remove the current COVID bro. That's what I'd like to do. I'd blend all of the bike and car stuff from back then, you know, including car stuff, because I also like cars, just not as much as I like bikes. Blend all that stuff into like a modern time and remove all the shit from modern time, and that's what I'd like to do. I think that would be the best benefit for me anyway. It's how I'd like to live. That's kind of this whole imagination station thing, it's where I'm going with that, you know. Think about what makes you happy and throw it out there. Stay positive with it and try and enjoy it. So yeah, open challenge to literally anyone who makes videos, watches. You don't have to be a motovlogger. Any videos you make will do. Yeah, just make a response, whatever it might be. It definitely it should be like environmentally illegal for pandemics to happen when it's sunny in Ireland, because like it never happens, and yeah. Sure, look, these things happen. We'll move on. We will move on. And I have gotten a few suggestions about what you'd all like to see. So if you've any more, leave them in the comments. That's absolutely fine as well. I am always open to suggestions about what to make videos on, because it's hard to keep the old brain turning and thinking of things, you know, especially at the moment, because oftentimes, you know, my videos, the subjects are, oh hey, let's go to this nice place and we'll talk about this nice place. Whereas at the moment, I'm just going to the same goddamn places really, because, you know, I'm just going home from work. That's it. I was gonna make a video as well about why I think this particular bike is a brilliant beginner bike. If you'd like to see that, let me know. Here we are. Pay at pump. Yes. One is free. Okay, so I don't think you want to watch me fuel up, so I shall return straight after. Who was it that got upset with me the last day for not putting miles plus unleaded in? Tell you what, that's a treat to the bike. So here we go. Miles plus unleaded. It won't make any difference, but we'll put it in for whoever said they were upset. Was it Jake? Was it Jake GSXR that complained? I don't know. I can't remember. Anywho, on we go. Do you know one of the things I miss most about this whole Corona thing? Casey's dirty chips. And something I saw recently that Brandon Picasso did it. If you don't follow him on YouTube, then go give him a subscribe, because he makes really good stuff. Actually, I really like his stuff. But he put out a video there that was, just kind of like him, he was riding his Suzuki M109, which is an absolute beast of a bike. I'm pretty certain it's a 1.8 litre engine, 1800cc. I don't know what that is in cubic inches because I don't use those numbers because they don't make sense. Now, that's that rant over. But yeah, it was just him just riding around in the middle of nowhere, and it's what I really like doing on my Magna. The thing that's really fun about the Magna is, you know, you get it, you just hit the throttle for like a couple of seconds and let off again. And you know, you do that, you kind of do that on repeat. And every time you hit the throttle and let off, you know, you get that feel for acceleration, and you also get the, you know, the noise and the feel of the deceleration, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. He put up this video anyway, just him going around on his Suzuki M109. The M109 is an absolute behemoth of a bike, and I'm pretty certain at a point, and maybe still it had the biggest pistons in production, like the biggest piston face in production. Could still be the truth. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know. But yeah, he was just baiting around back roads, and it was just absolutely incredible. I loved it. I loved every second of it because it wasn't even a long video. I think it was like 12 minutes, and I'm definitely going to watch that later again. Yeah, that's it. So the challenge, the open challenge is there. What era would you like to have lived in and why? And you can mix and match. It doesn't have to be one thing. And yeah, that's about it really. I hope you enjoyed this video of poop talking. And I hope you're all staying sane. I hope you're all staying safe. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it at the moment. It's really probably the bright light. Those are big flies. It's really probably the bright light for me at the moment at how much people are watching and enjoying my content. I will end it there. Thank you very much for watching. Adios. So, outro crew. If you could pick one bike from history for me to ride, any bike, and it doesn't have to be a Magna. Actually, it's not allowed to be a Magna, more interestingly. But if you could pick one bike from history, any bike at all, for me, what would it be? There you go. And if you want me to pick one for you, let me know, and I'll do it. Yeah. That's it. I miss going for proper spins. Oh well.